hope you're all having a lovely day. So today we are building a 2-bedroom family home in Willow Creek for some new parents, specifically for generation 5 of the Differences in the Family Tree challenge. This is probably the 5th, 6th, maybe as many times as generations attempt to build this house. I just haven't really been happy with the layout of it, and all of the different designs that I did. I thought I'll try different shells just to see what I liked, what I didn't like, and I just wasn't happy with any of them. So this one, I'm glad that I finally found something that I was happy with. I think I've built so many suburban style houses now that I'm sick of them. So hopefully I won't have to do another one anytime soon. But that's being said, I probably will. When the new pack comes out, I'll probably want to build a family home, because my plan is with this family, they will be living in Willow Creek for the time being, and then we'll be moving to the new world once the pack comes out. So I'll probably have to build them another one over there, which I'll have to spend ages doing again. But I'll worry about that when I come to it. I've been focusing mostly on the curved walls update that we're going to get in 2 days time, I think the 26th. So I've been doing lots of castles and different things with some nice curvy shapes. You might be able to see there's the start of a shell on the lot opposite this one. I don't really know whether I like it or not. It's a bit weird. It's not something I've ever done before, that kind of art deco style, so I don't know whether I like it just yet, but I'm just playing around with it for now. But yeah, like I said, this is a 2-bedroom home. The second bedroom is a little bit of an odd shape because I tried to make make the back a little bit more interesting, is what I'm trying to say. So the shape ends up a little bit odd, but that is where I have put the nursery. So I've built a little custom crib. I think I saw Simlessy do something like this or very similar to this. So the actual crib itself isn't functional, so you will need to replace it if you want to download it, but I have a custom content crib that I use. It's the default replacement of the base game one. I use it all the time, and obviously I couldn't include it in this particular video or in the gallery upload, because then it would be flagged as having custom content. So I thought I would just make a one that kind of looks very similar to it. So it isn't functional, but it fits in the space that I wanted, the one that I use. So, and I think it's really cute. It's kind of got the same little towel detail on it, so I really like that one. But you'll see it when we get upstairs a little bit later. So I don't clutter this one up quite as much as I normally do. There is still a fair bit of clutter in it. Just enough to add some lived in details, but not enough to make things non-functional. And the idea with this is that my particular Sims, they are both neat Sims, so I didn't think it really fit their personality to have a lot of stuff out. But that being said, they have just had their first baby, so it's a little bit chaotic in the house at the moment. So there are some things out on the counter that they probably wouldn't have out, but they just haven't had the time to put them away. That sort of idea. So there is a bathroom upstairs and a small toilet downstairs, or I say small toilet, it's still a 2x3 room, which is my usual bathroom size. So it's not tiny, but yeah, there is a second toilet downstairs and a laundry room. I wanted to include laundry just because I don't know, I like my Sims to do weird household chores that I'm not really a big fan of myself. It just seems realistic to me. I don't have the Bust the Dust kit, so I don't obviously include the hoovers or the vacuums, whichever you call them. But I think if I did have that kit, I would probably have them in that room just for decorative purposes. I know a lot of people have said that the kit is a bit buggy, the gameplay of it is a bit buggy, so they don't really use it. They have it turned off and just use the decorative items, which I probably would buy it just for them. But I'm not going to. I don't need it, so yeah, I just thought I would include a nice laundry room. Most of these rooms, I have to admit, because I take screenshots of my game and post them on Tumblr, a lot of the rooms are mostly for the pictures, just for the screenshots, because I want them to look good. So some of the rooms, like the laundry room for example, it's just something that looks nice in the screenshots. I wanted there to be a couple of different things on this sofa, but it just, once you've put all of the segments together and it's ends up quite big like this, it just looks a little bit plain when there's no cushions or rugs or drapes or anything. I probably would have liked to put a blanket on there, which is what I originally tried with that chair from Snowy Escape, but it just didn't line up properly. So I went with a couple of cushions. I think they're from maybe the Parenthood pack. They might actually be from the toddler, is it like a gameplay pack? The toddler, maybe it's a stuff pack, I don't know, the toddler one. And it came in some really nice colours, which I thought matched. I didn't intend to go with the colour scheme that I did, it just kind of happened that way, in that it's very pastel colours. There's quite a lot of blue and yellow in this one, which I do actually really like, so I'm quite pleased. There's quite a lot of Dream Home Decorator in it, and I think a Parenthood. I think those two are probably the ones that I've used the most. Quite a lot of the building things, like the doors, the stairs, the railings, I think are all Seasons. And then the windows are from Get Famous, because I just really like those windows and they look really nice together. So if you're wondering where all of those are from. So yeah, this is the downstairs bathroom and laundry room. I probably, thinking about it now, would have made more sense to put the door to the toilet from the laundry room. But then I was thinking about like what kind of artwork I would put on the wall on like the dining room side, and it didn't really fit in my mind, because I liked the fact that there was doors and then I could put like the painting in the middle, whereas if there was just one door, then it just seemed a bit odd to me. But I really like the way that this room came out. I didn't use that much clutter, like I said, because whenever I've tried to use the washer and dryer stacked like I have, if I put anything on top of it or around it or near it in the vicinity anywhere, my Sims can't use them for some reason. They can't use the washer or the dryer, so I tend to not put that much stuff around it. I have put that like cabinet thing on the wall above it, which when I play tested it did seem to work, but I haven't put anything like on the shelf. So I don't know whether if you put anything on the shelf it would then cause a problem, but I thought I would just leave it as it was. It works, so it's fine. This is the upstairs bathroom. This one I think gone with almost entirely Parenthood stuff. I think that mirror actually is from the Cats and Dogs pack? I'm not sure, but I actually really like all of these counters and everything from the Parenthood pack. I did originally, I think, want the blue counters, but it was just a little bit too dark in there in the end, and I absolutely love this tile from, again, Parenthood pack. It's just got some really nice pastel colours on it. It's like greys and pinks and yellows, which match really well with the rest of the house, so obviously I had to use that. I think I've used it like in downstairs ones too. So in here is the nursery room. As you can see, like I said, it's a little bit of an odd shape. I think if I extended these two out by like another tile, you could probably end up making another room, which when they have more kids, I might do that. If they have more kids before, the next pack comes out, which is the end of this week, I think. So we'll see how much gameplay I do before then. But yeah, I really love the way that this little crib came out. Obviously, like I said, it's not functional, but I just think it's really cute, and it looks very similar to the one that I use, so I wanted it just as like a placeholder, but you can switch it to whichever crib you want to use if you want to play in this house, or if you would like to replace it obviously with a custom content one like I do. I don't really have very many default replacements for objects. I think that might actually be the only one. I don't really play with like build or build or buy CC. I mostly just stick to cast CC. The only thing that I do have actually that I just thought of is the like the family picture thing. I think it's a ravishing piece. We did originally get it in the game for a little while. I'm not sure why it got taken out. I don't remember, but I wasn't playing the game at the time. I think I was still playing The Sims 3 when that was like brought out in an update, and then they took it out for some reason. And yeah, I didn't get it, so I had to go with the CC option, which, you know, I really like it. I haven't included it obviously because it is CC, but yeah, I do really like it for my screenshots in my Sims houses, because I do like to fill my Sims houses with pictures. So like pictures of them, you know, I've got like loads of pictures of the previous 4 generations or their wedding, everything like that. So you might see there's a couple of walls I've put like placeholder pieces of artwork and pictures on the wall. Mostly I think that wall that I just did in the nursery, the wall to the left of this bed, and then the one above the I put like a piece of artwork from, I don't actually know what pack it is, from this above the sofa in the lounge room. They're all kind of just placeholder pieces because that's where I will put my Sims pictures. So they kind of look a little bit odd, but obviously this is built for my own gameplay, so they're just kind of placeholders because otherwise the walls just look really bare. I have done this particular bedroom layout once before. I don't think I actually did it on a video. I think it was just in a house that I built for like my own gameplay, maybe beginning of this year, and I kept on thinking to myself like, oh, I got really far in that one. Remember it was when the neighborhood stories first came out. I did a test save file before I like enabled it in all of my other save files, because I wanted to know like what kind of chaos would actually happen and what settings I needed to change in MC Command Center for it to function kind of the way that I wanted it to before I just let it loose in this particular save file, because if it messed up any of my family tree I would be very sad. So I wanted to make sure I knew exactly what it was going to do before I, you know, just let it do its thing. And yeah, I made a whole save file. I think I got like 5 or 6 generations in on very, very short lifespan. I wasn't like playing the game properly. I literally just like fast forwarded most of it and just did a very, very quick 5 generations in the space of like a weekend, just to test it out. And yeah, I forgot where I was going with that story for a second. I really loved what I did in that particular house with the bedroom, so I wanted to recreate it in this one. So this gate was testing me. I couldn't figure out why it wouldn't let me place it right next to the house. It kept on saying that it couldn't place it because it was on a slope, and it definitely wasn't on a slope because this is a completely flat lot. And I tried everything I could think of and I just couldn't get it to work, and then all of a sudden it just decided to work. So I don't really know what I did to make it functional. I think it was something to do with these little rounded platform things that I've put down. I wanted to do something a little bit different with my landscaping. I wanted it to be very neat, which is not something that I do very often, if ever, but I thought these particular Sims are very neat. The one of them is in the military career, so I thought it made sense that they would have a very manicured garden, and they, you know, they don't have any kids yet, or they do, they just have one child who is a baby, or object baby, so not going to mess up any of the plants. So I wanted it to just be very, yeah, neat, so that's kind of what I did here. There is a little bit more wildness out the front, but as for the back garden, it is, yeah, very, very neat, you know, bordered flower boxes and things. So I do quite a lot of messing around with this terrain paint, and I'm not really sure. I thought that they had fixed the whole deleting terrain paint glitch, but I was doing, I think it was after this where I was doing like all the different bordery blending bits, and all of a sudden one particular terrain paint just deleted. Everything else stayed. It was just that one particular one that I've put. I will fix that fridge a little bit later. Yeah, where I've put like the pathway, this kind of stony one, and I'm not really sure why. It just suddenly decided to delete itself, and I was very shocked, very surprised. And then yeah, see, just deleted itself. I have no idea. All the other ones stayed, but for some reason that one decided it was going to disappear. So when I go to play test my builds, I like to upload it to the gallery and then place it down on a different lot or in a different save file to see kind of where things are an issue. So for example, disappearing stairs, or you know, things that don't like to place down for whatever reason, they just like to vanish. And the terrain paint, all of the terrain paint just completely vanished. So I thought like that was a thing when you loaded back into the game after you've finished it, and then the terrain paint just kind of is not there anymore. But no, this was when I placed it from the gallery. it just wasn't there. So the second time I placed it, it was fine, but I'm guessing it's just like another bug, which is very annoying. But you know, hopefully that's something that will get fixed in a couple days. But yeah, so the last thing that I kind of do is add a couple of these decoration-y bits on the front and landscaping. So I tried to add this little drain pipe in pretty much on every corner, every side, and I just couldn't get it to work. I think in the end I do add it to the front right hand column, and I'm not really sure whether you'd be able to see it in any of the screenshots, but I just liked that little bit of extra detail from up close. Like I said, I will be using this in quite a lot of my screenshots, so quite a lot of it is just like set prop. So I like to have those little details. I'm not sure if anybody else really even notices them, but it's something that I notice, so I like to include them. But yeah, this is the kind of, I guess you could say, more me landscaping out the front. It's a little bit more natural, I guess. I like to include lots of different colors, lots of different shades of green. All of the landscaping, I'm pretty sure, is base game. I've tried to copy what's kind of around the world, around this lot, just to make it blend a little bit. It obviously doesn't, because it's got like a giant fenced in garden around it, which I don't do very often. I try and avoid it, but it just fits the personality of the Sims. So I wanted to, you know, make sure that it was very neat, very bordered, very I don't know. It's just not something that I do very often, so I wasn't really sure whether it even looked right, but I do quite like it. I have to admit, I do really like it. It just adds a little bit of different shapes. I've been actually going through Pinterest, where I normally save like floor plans and things. I was going through garden designs and like landscaping designs and just seeing what different houses had different kind of gardens and what they look like. And I quite enjoyed doing that, and one of them had these giant like circles of sand with a swing set on, and I thought it looked really cool. And then when I tried to recreate it in The Sims, it just looked really odd. So I don't know whether I'll be able to get that to, you know, work properly, but you know, I liked the way that it looked, so hopefully I'll be able to figure it out. What else do I add to this? Oh, ivy and some wisteria from the cottage living, I think is... I know I said actually that it was all base game. I lied, because these things aren't from the base game, they're from cottage living, but I do really like the way that they look. And it goes kind of against, you know, my Sims being neat Sims and wanting to have a very neat looking house, but it kind of started to remind me of like a spring kind of inspired house, like spring colors and flowers and things. So I wanted to include these things because they look pretty. So, and they look nice in screenshots too, so I wanted to include some nice different looking flowers, and just to make it look a little bit prettier and a little bit more interesting. But we are coming to the end of the video, so thank you so much for watching. I really hope that you have enjoyed it. It's on the gallery already, and the tray files will be on Tumblr, and if you would like to see this house in gameplay, then you can have a look on my other Tumblr where I have all of my gameplay pictures from the differences in the family tree challenge. So yeah, thank you again for watching. I really hope that you enjoyed it. I hope you have a lovely day, a lovely week, and I will see you all next time. Bye everyone.
I got some new feelings that make you uncomfortable. You bring out all the good in me, and I see what I'll never be. Cause I got me some reason to lock all my keys in the car that we're taking home. So won't you say what you said to me on the roof of your house? Cause I've been having my doubts, oh yeah, yeah. Don't know what we could be. Sometimes I feel we're nothing, you talk like we're something. I guess now we're giving it a try. I like the way you describe it to people who won't go quiet. Yeah, 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 oh, oh. Cause every day I'm reminded of all the descriptions I could make. Yeah, yeah, whoa, whoa. Wasted, don't know what I feel. Remind me cause it feels so real. Yeah, I got to repeat that I want you and me. Pay no mind to what I'll ignore. Try not to live like I'm 17, cause you want what's under my skin. The door is open but